One more to react to. Maul sent me why warriors are actually using fiery weapon.
In classic World of Warcraft, warriors have always been the kings of DPS. But with the launch of Wrath of the Lich King, that is...
Dude, they're like bottom tier Andy, man. Feels bad, man. But I did hear like fiery enchant crits, and more crit we do, the more deep wound we do, the more damage we do.
No longer the case. For the first time ever, warriors are actually at the very bottom of the DPS tier list. Seeing all specs of warriors...
It's already patched. Really? That was fast.
...do very low damage compared to any of the other specs in the game. But one thing you should always know about warriors in Classic is that you should never count them out from figuring out some cheeky things to help them do more damage. Right now, so far, we're seeing warriors do very low DPS in Wrath of the Lich King, but they're...
Ant-Man, thank you for the 28 months. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. What is the Gladiator Warrior? Probably Prot Warrior. I don't know why it's called Gladiator Warrior.
Testing and trying out a ton of different things
to
increase their damage. And they've actually come up with a cheeky little thing that can actually cost you less gold than what you were doing already.
You linked it to me, Mom. You linked it to me.
By a decent margin. Now what we're going to look at today is actually all focused on this one talent, Deep Wounds, where your critical strikes cause the opponent to bleed for 48% of your melee's average damage over the next 6 seconds. This is the main talent that scales insanely well, which makes warriors do crazy amounts of damage moving on into ICC and beyond. Once we get a lot of armor pen, but we also have a ton of crit, warriors are going to do massive amounts of damage, because what this does is
all you guys think this is already fixed
that you hit with.
Honestly speaking, I wasn't even gonna farm the gear. Like, who cares?
Are all going to scale on this 48% of damage from your main hand weapon. So if you have a stronger main hand weapon, say you get Shadowmourne, every crit that you're doing for the most part is going to be actually adding extra damage, scaling an additive dot on your enemies, so that your deep wounds actually will end up doing something like 30 or 40% of your damage. First of all, shout out to whoever on the Warrior Discord made this amazing thumbnail. I'm not actually using it, but like, this is actually amazing and phenomenal. And massive shout out to my boy Zyrene, who actually fully pointed all of this out to me and sent me a ton of the info for it. So thank you so much. And from there, let's look at Fiery Weapon. First of all, on a lot of servers already, we're seeing the Fiery Weapon enchant shoot up to 300 plus.
Actually, price is going up.
As well as the mats for Fiery Weapon are also ridiculously expensive right now on the auction house. Now, why is that? Well, it turns out that Fiery Weapon actually can crit and can proc your deep wounds. So every time Fiery Weapon does crit,
is there like a video of a warrior pumping with a fiery? I want to watch that.
On the target, do 48% of your main hand weapon's damage. And Fiery Weapon crits all the time. One of the huge reasons for this is because it kind of tends to act like a spell, but spell and melee crit and hit are actually normalized in Wrath of the Lich King. So all of your crit and all of your hit will actually increase the chances of this hitting the target, lessen the chances of them being resisted, and of course this just means you're getting a ton of extra deep wounds.
There's a Chinese log. Dude, of course it's Chinese people finding these out, man.
Thing about Fiery Weapon is it's not a proc per minute base enchant. An interesting
I feel like they find a lot of good
stuff. Then is
a lot of stuff to exploit, actually.
The actual Fiery Blaze enchant, which is only for Alliance, a quest enchant that gives you a 15% chance to inflict damage. This might also have the same effect. I have not tested this yet, and I know people in Fight Club Discord by the time this video is out will absolutely have tested that. Berserking enchants are costing about 2,000 gold right now just for the scroll. Obviously, it's cheaper if you make the enchant
Berserking is definitely going down, though.
2,000 gold for Berserking, when you could actually do more damage with Fiery Weapon. But how much more damage are you actually doing? Now, in full Phase 1 BIS and with Berserking on both of your Betrayer of Humanities, we are seeing the DPS on average be about 7,416. But if you have Fiery Weapon on both of your weapons, you're actually seeing like a 50 to 60 DPS increase when you run the Sims multiple times. This is actually kind of crazy. It's also been discovered that Flame Cap also hits with crits and procs deep wounds, which is going to be another big jump in DPS. Flame caps are decently expensive already, and it was an increase in DPS for pretty much everyone already. But now they're going to get even more expensive. What these do is
I'm not farming this fire stuff, chat. I'm just gonna play normal warrior life, man.
1 minute.
For 15 more DPS, I'm not doing that. Hello, dude.
Consumable that are going to greatly increase the DPS of warriors. Then on top of that, there might even be an
no, man, I'm not doing this.
I
This
don't
is
even think you
stupid.
can get anymore that adds 2 fire damage to all of your melee weapon attacks that could also potentially crit, which might be your phase 1 bis. Now, if you have this, then go test it. You're amazingly lucky. But if you don't have this, it's not really something you can worry about too much. So instead of spending 2,000 gold on all of your weapons for the Berserking
I guess he
enchant,
does have a
you can
point
actually
if
do
you don't want to
more
waste money.
damage by getting this low-level enchant fiery weapon. This is an interesting
Hey, people are saying
use
it's
of game
patched though. Is it
mechanics.
patched or
I'm
no?
not necessarily sure if Blizzard is going to do something about it, or if it's actually fully factual. I've not, again, fully tested this all myself.
I don't think Blizzard knows about this. There's no way they know about
top
this.
warriors already switch their weapons to fiery weapon on both weapons, so we could.
I bet he didn't have any enchants and he just put fiery on because they're way cheaper.
Absolutely see this becoming the meta, which actually could be interesting to see a Shadowmourne with fiery weapon coming soon, and that's gonna feel kind of good and kind of bad, to be honest. Everyone's going to be a little frustrated seeing fiery weapon enchant on the Shadowmourns. Anyways, guys, I just wanted to give you all the information I can. Currently, the BIS is looking like fiery weapon. Now, whenever any of these new meta builds come out, I will try to keep you posted on it so you can go and try it.
Hey,
Also,
yo! Chat, this is what I'm talking about. 69 420, baby. Dead, thank you, man. PPC, chat. PPC. Wow. I was just watching that video. Can't see. Oh, it was covered, man. Don't worry about it, chat. Don't worry about it. Savix, I'm a big fan of your video for a year. I have a question. What do you think about the racist Stormman guards attacking innocent Worgans on Argentine EU? We were talking about this topic someday. Sometimes we put on the auction house on fire as a protest. I wish you the best. Wait, what do you mean Stormman guards being racist to Worgen? I think Worgans are accepted, no? Night Elves and Worgans, they go well together, and Worgans are accepted as alliance. I like Worgen too, they're pretty cool, man.